Okay, this is Library on Legs coming to you from the basement, and I'm going to talk about. This is my first weekly update. I really want to start from the beginning of last week and right up until what I'm reading now and what I'm going to read for the next of the month, because I may not get another chance for another one. I'm going to try to get it done now. At least, the very least, talk about the books I read last week. So, it was great. It's been a great month. I read a lot of books. I don't read a book I don't like. I'm kind of a cheap date that way. I like pretty much everything I read, with the exception of the occasional, like, I'll still finish them, but it doesn't inspire me to read more, um, once in a while. Anyway, so I came into last week reading 3 books at one time. They were We Are the Dead, Mike Shackle. Reading, I was listening. I listen. This is all audio. Not all audio. There's a couple not audio later in the thing, but for now, these are audio. Mike Shackle, We Are the Dead. I was listening to a book called Dark Intercept, by Brian Andrews. Came to that series because of MacLeod Andrews, who was the narrator. Love him. One of my favorite narrators. And then the third book I was listening to was Lightfall. Now, the interesting thing about Lightfall and to read these together, it was just the weird luck that I have to listen to Lightfall and We Are the Dead at the same time. They're very similar in theme. You've got a young female protagonist who's trying very hard to come to terms with the world that they live in, with the expectations of them and or their place in the social unrest, which is, I find, really compelling. They're very different characters, but they're in the same kind of situation. And then what's cool about it is the difference in the timeline. In one of them, there is this, the social injustice has been going on for a very long time, and it's been obvious but accepted, and there's not a whole lot of fire behind it. It's sort of, this is how we live, but some people aren't okay with it, and so there's this little tiny ember, this spark. And then the other one, the fires of revolution are still burning hot. Like, everything that happens right in the beginning of the book, slams you in the head, and it's in your face the whole time. So it made for an interesting books to read together or back to back. I thought that was interesting. And then in between that was this Dark Intercept, which was a modern urban fantasy, but it was faith-based, which was super interesting. So it basically posits that all of these supernatural things that this sort of spec ops team is protecting the rest of us normies from, are faith-based, which was kind of interesting. I didn't mind that. Some people would find that offensive. I don't. I find it, because it was very well done. And, lots of books have, Asgard as their faith, the source of their magic, or whatever. Pick a god in mythology. I didn't have a problem with a modern telling with God, as it seemed like a Christian God. I was pretty sure it was a Christian God. It may not have been. I may have missed something, but at any rate, it was super interesting, and I liked it a lot. MacLeod Andrews is always a great narrator. So from there, I lightened it up a little bit, went to Mort, because who doesn't love Discworld? Discworld is my go-to for middle of the stuff to lighten everything else up. Same social commentary, but in a wacky, fluffy way. Who doesn't love that? And I like all of Discworld. I'm not particular to any one of the sets of them, so I'm reading them in order. I probably haven't read a lot of them when they were coming out when I was younger, so I have read a lot of them, and it's fun to listen to them now. Bill Nye's just doing the footnotes is absolutely perfect. So from there, I read a couple of romance. No, one was a paranormal romance, J.T. Gessinger. That was Midnight Valentine. Very saucy, also very touching. Oh, heartbreaking, actually. I think I cried through most of it. But it was really, really good. I've only the second book I've read from this author, J.T. Geisinger. And they're really, I'll read another one, but it'll be a while, because ouch. But super good. Really likable characters, really interesting themes, and a paranormal bent. If you don't mind saucy, you like that. The lights went out right then. Then I would recommend that one. Then it was Lights Out. Can't remember who recommended that to me. I'll ask her if it was her. I don't want to call anyone out if it wasn't right. It's funny that I was just about to talk to about Lights Out. Lights Out was a dark romance. I guess it is pretty dark, but also pretty light. It's very funny as well. The characters are great. Their interaction is great. It's super saucy, but really, really fun too. And it has a little bit of a Dexter-esque bent to it. The second one comes out like in June. So that'll be fun. I'll definitely read it. It was very entertaining. It's Navessa, which was kind of a cool name. Crap, I'm sorry, I don't remember her last name, but you'll find it. If you look for Lights Out, it's like a book talk baby. It'll be easy to find. That was really good. And then, what did I go to next? Oh, duh. The one I'm all over the place about. The Trial of Rooker Flynn. The Crimes of Rooker Flynn was my darling last December. Read that last month. Listened to it last month. Narrated by the author, A.R. Whittam. I got that right. He's brilliant. So good at his story. He knows his story. He knows his characters. The story is both gut-wrenching and funny. It twists your soul. It twists your brain, trying to keep up with what's going on. Trying to hold on to who you want to survive and how you want that to happen. Amazing. I highly recommend these. I think I have Kate and Shelf to thank for this because she's the first person I remember mentioning this book. And then it's on Twitter as well. I see it on Twitter all the time. And this book I love. I've already listened to it twice. It's taken up my TBR. Then from there, what am I listening to? Oh, right now I'm listening to, book 6, Mindless, of Mountain Man by Keith C. Blackmore, narrated by R.C. Bray, who, if you know R.C. Bray, you know R.C. Bray. It's great. Love his voice. Gravel. Pure gravel. Like me right now. It's kind of, I'm doing an R.C. Bray thing. And it's awesome. I'm almost done with that. And I just love it. I just love Mountain Man. I've got book 7 and I think I'm caught up. So I'm looking forward to getting completely caught up with that. And hopefully it's not over, but I won't know until I get to the end of book 7. So love Mountain Man. Then next week it looks like, I think it's G.F. Allen. I'm going to do a Kingsguard Tale. I have that on audiobook and I'm looking forward to it. I've been waiting for that and I'm looking forward to it. I'm going to do Shane Purdy Initialization, which is a lit RPG. I'm also going to do Wind and Wildfire, which is J.D. Evans, the prequel. I believe it's a prequel to J.D. Evans' Rain and Ruin. No, not Rain. Is it Rain? Anyway, The Mages of the Wheel. Love this series. One of my favorite series of last year, and I'm looking forward to finishing it this year. It's one of my quests for this year to finish this series. I absolutely love it. And then I've been physically reading a couple things. I'm trying to read one Kindle at a time. See how I do. This month I'm actually reading an EPUB from Jenny Wirtz called The Gallant, which is amazing. I will finish that this month. It's amazing. She's amazing. Come on. She's amazing. And then Ryan Hyatt, who I just love. He doesn't have very much on audio, so I'm trying to pick through his stuff on Kindle because that's where I can get it. And this one's called Lot Lizards, and I'm about halfway through that. So I'll finish that easy. And then I'm going to start, by the end of the week, I hope to start Tim McKay's The Fall of Sylvandria, which I'm looking forward to. And that's on Kindle. So I'm hoping that'll take me a while. It always does. But I've been wanting to start that for a long time, so I'm looking forward to it. And from there, next week I'll have a little, how far I got through all of those and what else I'm trying to get through. If I got distracted, thank you, Bearded Book Beast, for earlier in the month sending me completely off the mark with Repairman Jack. Yep, I've listened to those. The early years twice now. Thank you for completely derailing my TBL. Anyhow, they're great, so I guess it's okay that I was derailed. Whatever. I'll talk about the rest of the books that I read earlier in the month, at the end of the month, and then, I don't know, wrap up, whatever that looks like. And then we'll talk about where I'm going to go next month and what my kind of plan for the year is. I do have a plan. It's an interesting plan. I'm still going to wrap up my top 10s from last year, 4 lists that I have solidified. One of them is my favorites from new authors, my favorites of the huge books that I started, so Hyperion, Red Rising, my favorites from that list of known series or books that I read that were already famous. The next one is my favorites from, what was the next one? Well, that's 2 of them. That's 2 of them. Might have been my favorite top 10 series since I did finish 23 series last month. Anyway, I'll get on with those and that'll be fun. And then, yeah. Thanks for listening. It's the longest video I've done, so I hope it didn't bore you. And I hope you chat with me. Chat with me. Tell me what you liked. Tell me what you didn't like. Tell me what you haven't read, what you have read. Oh, God, sure. Tell me what I should add to my TBL. Because I need more of those. Oh, and my TBL, this is a really fun fact, is at 1984 right now. Well, not my TBL, but my books on Kindle. I own, not Kindle, for God's sake, I own 1,984 books on Audible right now, which I thought was a pretty fun number. I don't check it that often, so I checked it because somebody asked and I had to giggle because I was like, oh, well, I guess that's a sign. I should put 1984 on my listen list next month. I haven't read it since high school. I should probably do that. Okay, again, thanks for listening. Chat with me, and thank you for subscribing, all of you. I know who some of you are, but whoever you are, thank you. I hope you enjoy my ramblings, and I hope we get a chance to chat. So you can find me on Twitter if you haven't already. Cinnapalm there too. Well, this is Librarian Legs, but I'm Cinnapalm on Twitter. Cinnapalm, SINNAPOMME. So yeah, talk to you soon.